Welcome back to Foot in Mouth. Thank you as always for being here, watching another video. And if you are new here, I'm not very far from 200 subscribers. I've never set a goal on this channel before, but I'm setting one now. I want to hit 200 subs by Christmas. So if you can help me get there, it'll be much appreciated. And I know that 200 subscribers isn't the biggest number in the grand scheme of things, but it is a start. And we start small, then we go big. It's what I'm trying to do with the channel, but more importantly, it's what I'm trying to do with the community. So stick around for a bit, give the video a watch. If you like what you hear, like what you see, think about subscribing. And yeah, it would be very much appreciated. Today we're speaking about Champions League matters, because how could we not? Two blockbuster games last night, massive statement wins, history being made by Arsenal as well. But yeah, it doesn't get very much bigger than Liverpool versus Real Madrid. A game that went not the way I expected, and I will be the first to admit that I was wrong, but I do also think that my doubts were justified. We're going to get into that. But Bayern Munich also making a big statement win of their own, going top of the table in the league phase of the competition, beating PSG away from home. Massive smash and grab win over there. Spurs got a big win. Arsenal, massive win for them as well, only just in the context of things when you consider injuries, player availability, all that jazz. But yeah, we're going to get into all of it today, starting with the main one on the night, in my opinion at least, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. It's a game that was shrouded in narrative this time around, more than usual, because of the return of Trent, Alexander-Arnold and Xabi Alonso, but also because of Liverpool's current form. And this is why I think that myself and anybody else that doubted Liverpool, we weren't necessarily out of pocket. Liverpool won a terrible run of form. They had 6 losses in 7 games. And Real Madrid, meanwhile, 100% win record in the Champions League. And also the fact that it's Real Madrid in the Champions League, you kind of bet on them more often than not. But I think it's for those reasons that I literally cannot give enough credit to Liverpool for pulling it off. All the pressure was on them. They absolutely coped with it, unlike Real Madrid on the night. And they got a deserved 1-0 win. It took something special to get it, as we've seen from Thibaut Courtois before. As an Arsenal fan, it took something special from Declan Rice. Last night, it was Alexis MacAllister, but set piece again, ole, comes through to save the day. This is a big goal for him in particular. I think he's had an on-off season so far. But yeah, as far as Liverpool's season is concerned, I think that this is one of those stepping stones. This is one of those results that absolutely just shoots you forward. And it's obviously a big game for them again this weekend against Man City, but knowing that you can pull this off against Real Madrid when the odds are stacked against you, I think that this is going to go a long way for them. And on the night, there was so much working against them. The fact that Real Madrid were in form. Kylian Mbappe, I spoke about his goal-scoring form coming into this game. He didn't get a sniff at goal. Vinny Jr., obviously always a threat. He had no joy against a stellar Conor Bradley. Where did that performance come from, bro? My man of the match, in all honesty, just on principle. I think he came into this game cold because he's also fresh off of an injury of his own. So the fact that he could come into this game and completely nullify Vinny Jr. is just hats off to you, bruv. You are absolutely man of the match, in my opinion. Real Madrid's man of the match was Thibaut Courtois, and he was the busiest of the bunch. It didn't start out that way. When the game started, I thought, okay, Real Madrid they're going to keep control of this. So much of the game has been played in Liverpool's half. I didn't see Liverpool getting out of their half, but once Liverpool found their footing, it was game over. Once they started dominating, they didn't give that dominance up. And yeah, like I said, it did take something special to beat Thibaut Courtois, but you did always feel that a Liverpool win was more likely. Florian Wirtz was flowing. I think that he's absolutely built for these types of games, especially in European competitions where he's going to have more time on the ball and he's going to have more space to pass into. I think that you saw exactly why Liverpool believe so much in this guy and why they spent as much on him as they did. Now, there's every chance that he's going to struggle a bit longer in the Premier League, but as long as he's performing like this on the biggest stage against the biggest team of them all, I don't think Liverpool fans will have many complaints. Dominic Szoboszlai, for me, Liverpool's player of the season so far, had another really good game. He and McAllister just owned that midfield. I didn't see it going that way, but Jude Bellingham was anonymous. I forgot that he was on the pitch sometimes. I can't even lie. But yeah, Szoboszlai, another really good performance. He is a machine. To be fair, both he and McAllister were, but like last night, more than ever, the two of them were working hard. And they got the result that, like I said in the beginning, it was absolutely justified. It wasn't all happy times, though, because obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold did make his return. And as expected, there were a lot of boos. But I do want to take a second just to kind of applaud the fans that showed him a lot of respect on the night. I do understand why Liverpool fans are so frustrated with him. I completely understand it. Homegrown player, absolutely won it all with the club. you expected him to stay forever, and then he goes and moves on to your biggest European rivals. I get it, but at the same time, I also understand fully why Alexander-Arnold made the move. And I'm speaking from a place of privilege. As an Arsenal fan, I haven't seen a move that has affected me like this. We haven't seen this level of a homegrown talent, aside from Cesc Fabregas, but that was also very different the way that happened. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold left he could have left in a better way. I 100% agree with you there. But I don't agree that just because of how he left, his whole legacy should be tarnished at the club. I think that he did more than enough for the club to deserve the fans' respects. But that being said, completely understand. Football is a very emotional game, so I don't blame anybody for booing him. But I just do have a lot of time for the fans that didn't. I think that also says a lot about the character of Liverpool fans. And yeah, I think that not the ideal return to Anfield for him, but definitely the ideal game for Arne Slot and Liverpool. It was the result of the results, but as big a statement as statements get. And I think it is absolutely going to push them forward. They got a big win against Aston Villa over the weekend that they needed to get to kind of keep the pace with Arsenal and now Manchester City. And I think a win here as well, not only does it ruin Real Madrid's 100% win record in the Champions League, but this kind of makes up for Liverpool's Galatasaray loss as well, and then some, in my opinion, because again, it keeps Liverpool in the conversation with the top half there. Obviously, everyone's chasing a guaranteed qualification to the next round. You do not want to play that playoff round. So beating Real Madrid, who is easily your toughest opponent in this league phase of the competition, it's going to go a long way for them. And yeah, now all that's left is to get over a Manchester City hurdle this weekend. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this game. Deserved win for Liverpool. Did it go the way you expected? I mean, like I said, I definitely thought Real Madrid were going to get more out of this game, but this is what happens when you get a club like Liverpool who are playing for the badge, playing for the fans, and then you get Real Madrid who last night I felt just basically played for the ego. It was a big night for Arsenal, massive night for Max Dowman, who became the youngest player in UEFA Champions League history. 15 years and 308 days. The fact that this kid is playing in the UEFA Champions League, I mean, what were you doing when you were 15? I know what I was doing when I was 15, and I was nowhere near a football stadium playing for hundreds of thousands of fans around the world. And it's one of those things that's just very surreal, but it is testament to just how good a player he is. The fact that at that age he can make that step up is crazy. Arsenal are blessed with young talent. I don't think we've ever had as good a crop of end products as we have now. We've always had some really exciting ones. I think about Emil Smith-Rowe every time. He's the first name that comes to mind. Bukayo Saka, first name that comes to mind. We've had those types of players, but now we got Nwaneri, Lewis Kelly, and Max Dowman all at the exact same time coming into the first team ranks. Not only that, but we've also got the new striker that keeps making appearances now. He also made a Champions League appearance. Hanneman Anous, that's his name. I swear I'm going to learn it and remember it at some point. But yeah, it was a massive night for the youngsters, and they had to step up because Arsenal, not the best off in terms of availability, but Arteta still fielded a lineup way stronger than I'd expected. I didn't expect Ben White to start I thought he would start the game. He came on from the bench. I didn't expect a lot of the starters to actually start. Declan Rice, I was so nervous, bro. He was on a yellow, 1 yellow away from missing the Bayern Munich game, but thankfully got away with it. And yeah, we came out comfortable 3-0 winners. Bukayo Saka getting a goal. Mikel Merino doing what he does best, playing as a striker, getting a brace on the night. And while it's unfortunate that Victor Gyökeres was injured, it is always reassuring to know that you got a Mikel Merino there to pick up the slack. So I think it was a big win for Arsenal. I think it was well managed by Arteta. This weekend it's Sunderland away, so not going to be the most taxing on us physically. So it should be business as usual. I'm just happy that we kept that clean sheet record intact. Came very close to being spoiled because the referee did award a penalty to Slavia Prague, but it was rightfully overturned when you went to go and observe it on the monitor. I don't know why VAR even sent him to the monitor. They could have just said, bruh, this is the wrong decision, overturn that. But it was overturned, and yeah, Arsenal ran out 3-0 winners. Massive, massive win for us in the grand scheme of things because it does keep us level at the top with Bayern. At least it would have been nice to be above them, but yeah, we are there. And yeah, it keeps Arsenal in contention to go top of the Champions League table in the next Champions League game, because it is Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, which means it's first versus second at the Emirates Stadium. That's going to be a clash of the titans, especially with the current form both teams are in defensively at the moment. Neither team's going to want to concede. Bayern's definitely not going to want to lose because they got a 100% win record so far in all competitions. Arsenal not going to want to get a second loss, but also that clean sheet record, bro. there are some serious records Arsenal can set if they do keep this streak going. So, yeah, I can't wait to get into that game. But for now, Arsenal with a very convincing 3-0 win. Thomas Frank got the win that he needed. More importantly, got the performance that he needed, getting a 4-0 win against Copenhagen. So I guess that went about as you'd expect. But yeah, that's going to bode well for Spurs fans as well. They needed something that they could just believe in again. You know, it's been way too slow a start for them this season, but I think that they need more of that. And this is again the beauty of European football. English clubs do usually have more joy in playing against sides not in the Premier League, because they're not going to play against low blocks. But yeah, it's a big win for Spurs, and all that's left to do now is see if Man City, Newcastle and Chelsea can follow suit. You know, tonight doesn't have nearly as big a game as Liverpool versus Madrid or Bayern PSG, but Man City Dortmund could still be a good one. Chelsea going against Karabag, not the most tasting, but I do still think that the Chelsea game is a tricky fixture. I think it is. I think that's one of those games where you can easily just switch off, let your guard down, and you'll get punished for it. But yeah, let me know your predictions for tonight's fixtures. Let me know your thoughts on what we saw last night. More importantly, that Liverpool game, because yeah, there was a lot to talk about from there. Did it go the way that you had expected? If it did, hit me with an I told you so in the comment section, because I do deserve it as much as Liverpool deserve that win. Thank you as always for watching the show. Do leave a like if you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content, and I'll catch you in the next one.